In this lecture, we're going to begin triggering the player's defeat animation. This animation should only play when the player's health has reached 0. The best place to perform this check is when the player has received damage. In Visual Studio Code, open the Health component. Scroll to the Take Damage method. In this method, let's replace the print method with a conditional statement. The condition will be the following: health points equals 0. Let's assume the character's health is 0. In that case, we should begin playing the animation. Run a method called defeated. We're going to outsource the logic to a different method to keep our code base organized. Below this method, define the defeated method. To play the animation, we must have a reference to the animator component. Keep in mind, this component does not live on the same object as the combat component. We added this component to a child object. At the top of the class, define a variable called animator component with the animator class as the type. Next, define the awake method. We're defining this method to grab the component as early as possible. Inside this method, let's set the animator component variable to the getComponentInChildrenAnimator method. There's one thing I should mention about this method. What if multiple game objects have this component? If that's the case, this method will always return the first result. That's something you should be aware of in case you have multiple game objects with the same component. Now that we have a reference to the component, let's trigger the animation. Back in the defeated method, call the animator component.setTrigger method. Technically, we could pass in a string. However, in the previous lecture, we created a constant for storing the parameter name. Let's include the rpg.utility namespace. At the top of the file, include this namespace. Scroll back to the defeated method. In the setTrigger method, pass in the constants.defeatedAnimatorParamConstant. That's it. We should be able to play the defeated animation upon reaching minimum health. Head over to Unity to play the game. I'm going to let the enemy defeat me in a fight. After they defeated me, the defeated animation plays. There's just one problem. The enemy keeps attacking me after I've been defeated, thus causing the animation to play continuously. There's another problem with our code. If we look in the console, Unity throws an error from the onCompleteDefeat event. It states that a method hasn't been defined to handle this event. We should fix these problems. In the next lecture, let's stop the animation from playing after it has been played once.